I'm Phyllis. I live in my van. Hey, y'all. I'm in a van. I have a guest here with me. Very
Hi.
special guest. It's my son, Chris. Chris, say hi.
Hi.
Chris says hi. Just having a little visit. We've been having some great conversations. Show us your awesome new hat that I got you. Great, yeah. Got that in Quartzsite when I had my solar repaired. So tell us, what was the weirdest story that I had told you tonight?
2 pregnant women in a Porsche, one of which was my mother and her mother. And Phyllis, I'm in labor. We need to go to the hospital. The only car we have is the Porsche.
Which is how I found out that my mother was pregnant, because she was morbidly obese. I guess we should sign off right now. Chris, you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye. Subscribe or you're cringe.
Like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye. So we got cut off.
Yeah.
See, are we going? Yeah. So you would tell people I was traveling?
Yeah, that was
Like in the circus?
well, not in the circus, but like maybe I would say she's like doing the van life thing, like if that was a term that I thought they would know.
Like
but
I'm a 25-year-old and I'm standing outside my van like this in a bikini.
Yeah,
because that's van life.
Well,
I'm an old lady who lives in a van.
I mean, you have to make it sound nice, otherwise
Why?
people are gonna think like, oh, she's homeless, she's living in her car, and that's not really what this is.
But why would you care about what other people think about me?
I mean, you don't want people to think badly about your mom. I think that's just like rule 1 of being alive.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I tend to not care what other people think about me, which you kind of have to be that way if you live in a van down by the river with no bathroom. And
Yeah.
but I get that, and you're a young person, so of course, you don't want people to think badly about me, and that's actually kind of sweet. Would you want to live this way, the way that I live?
No. I would not. Well, for one, I can't drive. That's a big problem.
Well, but that's a surmountable obstacle. But would you want to? Let's say you had a driver's license and you knew how to drive.
No, I don't think I would. But one of the things, we had this conversation like a couple months ago, and one of the things I remember saying was it seems sort of unstable. Like you don't have a permanent address, like you need to do your taxes or whatever, and like you don't really just have like a guaranteed place to go. I mean, other than like inside the van, but the van has to be somewhere. That's not like the end point. So that was one of the big things. The other thing is probably the toilet
My poop bucket?
Yes, that.
But everything you said before that, those are really rational concerns, and that's something that if you're really thinking about living in a vehicle, any kind of vehicle, whether it's a car, a tent, or a big RV, is you do lose that groundedness that you have from being in a house. And he's talking about having an address, but I think it's more than that. It's about having a place that's yours.
Right.
So I'm sure a lot of people would feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure a lot of people will feel the same way about a poop bucket, which, by the way, is not a big deal, right? You've seen he's not used my poop bucket, by the way.
And I will not.
And you will not. But tell them if it smells. Like when I picked him up for a visit, I had promised him that my poop bucket would be empty and not have a product in it.
And then she did not do that.
Because he didn't believe me that my van did not smell like poop.
It doesn't smell.
See? So it's really not a big deal. And if you watch my van tour video, you'll see that it's like a toilet, but it doesn't flush. It's a bucket. It's got a nice, comfy toilet seat on it. You should totally try it.
I will not.
You want to try it?
No.
I'll give you $20 to try my poop bucket.
No.
I'll give you $50 to try my fruit bucket.
No.
I'm kind of offended.
It's not happening.
Okay. What has surprised you about me living in the van? Like anything I've said or anything you've thought about it?
One thing I remember being surprising, I slept here in the van once.
Oh, that's right.
When we were camping during winter break.
The first night, I made a mistake with booking that. This boy, I live in this beautiful van with basically a guest room, and he would not camp in my van, so I rented a site in a state park with a screen shelter, and I made a mistake on the date. So the first night after I picked him up, we didn't have that reservation.
Yeah.
So the first night we stayed at a rest area.
Yeah, and I was sleeping in here. The couch can sort of be used as a bed, so that's where I was. And I thought it was going to be like cramped and stuff, and that it would be
weird. Maybe?
Yeah, some like that. But I was like, yeah, it's cool. I'm sitting here. I'm sleeping.
Did you have a different opinion of my van after that night?
Yeah. I think it felt a lot more feasible. Isn't the right word.
Like a living space?
Yeah. It felt more normal after that once I'd been in there. I wasn't like claustrophobic or anything.
Yeah, and that's one thing about my van is there's lots of open space, which I value. But also, I mean, I can see, like, to a normal person how this would seem like a really weird choice.
Yeah.
And a really weird way to live. But once you're in here, and I cooked, right?
She did.
In the van, and it's like a normal room.
Right.
If you really look at it, it's a normal room. Plus, at that rest area, there was flush toilets. So
yeah.
So I think he was pretty good. Wasn't that a great rest area?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Texas has the best rest areas, y'all. We joke about, or you joke about, that I have hijinks.
Yes, hijinks.
Just tell them in general how you would define hijinks, and then we can talk about some specific hijinks.
A hijink in this context, I would say is something, it has to be wacky, and it has to be something.
So we're having technical difficulties. So we're talking about hijinks. You want to give your definition again in case we missed it before?
A hijink, I would say, is something very wacky that happens and that I think could only happen to her. Nobody else would be in this situation if it's a hijink.
Well, I'm sure there's a word for it, so I'm sure other people have had.
Well, I just mean that, like.
Do you think I seek them out, or are they just...
No, it's just that it's just some weird, like, quirk of the universe that...
You don't think I actually put myself in weird situations?
I mean, you do.
Yeah, okay.
But, like, some of them aren't you. Some of them
Some
just
I'm just
happen.
like the last one I told you about. With the pirate dude?
Yeah, that just happens.
Yeah. But tell us about the one that sticks out most to you.
The one that sticks out to me most is skinny dipping in Lake Mead with a random guy that she just met.
It was hot outside. The water
it's
looked
public
nice.
indecency.
Yeah, no one arrested me. Yeah, I didn't know the guy, but I was like, I'd met this guy, like right then. Yeah, I didn't know him. And he was a man of a certain age, like I'm a woman of a certain age. And I just said, wow, it'd be really awesome if I could just take off my clothes and go in the water. He's like, well, you should do that. I do that all the time. So I was like, let's do that. So we took off our clothes and we got in the water.
Mention the two people when
Oh,
you
well,
over on your back.
I was feeling just a tiny bit naughty. So there were lots of kayakers going by. So I waited. There was one really close. So I waited until they got right up near me. And then I floated on my back. I think that's the part that got you, right?
Illegal.
They laughed. They thought it was funny.
That doesn't mean you didn't flash them.
It was funny. You know, you gotta read The Room. I read The Room. It was funny. So, what's another just one other example of a hijink?
One other hijink.
They probably stick in your head more than mine, because sometimes you'll say, "Remember that?" I'm like, "Wow, I forgot about that. That was really weird."
I
have so many hijinks, you can't think of.
Yeah, I can't come up with one off. The
Maybe
top
you'll
of my
think of
head.
one.
There have been a lot.
Maybe you'll think about. If you think about one later, just tell me.
Okay.
Okay, another question. Would you want me to live a different way? Like if you could wave a magic wand and I would just live a different way?
No, I mean, that's not really my business, for one. I mean, if you want to live in a van, that is your God-given right as an American.
But would you... But yeah, like... But you wouldn't want to. Like, why would you not want to? Besides it's my prerogative.
Well...
Do I seem happier?
You are. You
Do I seem a lot happier than I used to be?
Definitely from the way that you've talked about it. I think this has definitely made you happy, and then if it's done that, there's no reason to reverse it.
No, that funny smiley face I'm gonna put over your head is gonna be over my head too. Would you rather have a normal mom?
No.
So much.
I love you too.
A normal mom, like, leave the house and come visit me in my house, and I would say I would bake cookies, but I would do that for you in my van, and I'd totally cook for you.
It would work.
I would totally cook for you. Cookies are cookies. In fact, I offered to make you hot chocolate tonight, and what did I make you the other night?
Rice pudding.
Rice pudding, so... I love that you wouldn't rather have a normal mom. That would be embarrassing to you. Do you worry about me?
Sometimes, she does a lot of going out in the middle of nowhere and chilling in the middle of nowhere, and that can come with issues. I mean, it hasn't yet. I mean, she's always had enough food and water and stuff, but there was one time she got stuck in travel
for 3 days.
Yeah, that was concerning.
Yeah, he was right. I called him. I was like, "Hey, I'm stuck." I think I called you the second day I was stuck.
Yeah.
It was my birthday.
Oh no.
Yeah, but was I worried?
No.
What did I say? I have food and water and solar, and if I had to, I could walk out to the road. I wasn't worried.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for you to worry about me if I'm not worried.
Mm-hmm.
Although between you and me, I probably wouldn't tell him if I really was worried. Just between you and me. Does anything else worry you about the way I live besides getting stuck? Or safety concerns in general?
No, I think that's it.
But who's the most badass 58-year-old woman that you know? Me. Who's the most badass person in general that you know? That would be me. He's pointing to me in case the thing I used to cover up his head is blocking his thumb. That would be me. Who can scare away a pack of wild dogs? Me. Who's not scared of a bear?
How many times are you gonna make me put my hand up?
Who has a badass knife in her bed?
I'm just gonna leave this here.
Who has not been afraid of inviting homeless people? Oh, there's a hijink.
Yeah.
I let a homeless dude sleep in my van for 3 nights. Who was not scared of that? Who was the scarier person in that scenario? Me or the homeless guy? Me. Notice thumb's still out. So I'm a badass B. And he knows it.
I thought you were worried about getting demonetized.
I said B. So, do you have any final thoughts or anything else you want to say? for this interview? Something I haven't covered that you think about me living in a van, or just in general?
One thing, I thought it was very funny that she decided to start this channel.
This YouTube channel.
Not because she's like doing it badly or anything, but because, like, you know, I'm a Gen Z, you know, I'm a youngin.
And I'm pushing 60.
I'm used to the YouTube language, so to hear my 58-year-old mother saying, I want more comments to boost my algorithm.
Yeah, like how many times a day like I take screenshots of my analytics.
I've got almost 500 watch hours. So it's just very
not what a 58-year-old woman does.
Yeah. So it was just, I know what all that means, but it's not supposed to be coming out of this person's mouth.
That's hilarious. But I'm enjoying it, right?
Yeah.
You know, I get bored sometimes, and this is something for me to use my big brain on.
Yeah.
Right? Anything else?
I think that's all.
You don't want to say anything else? Just one final thought.
Subscribe to the channel.
That's a good one. That wasn't what I was looking for, but that's even better.
What were you looking for?
I love you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I already said that earlier.
I love you, Mom, and I'm happy for you that you're happy living in this van.
I love you, and I'm happy for you that you're enjoying living in the van.
And also, like and subscribe.
And like and subscribe.
Yeah, what you said was better than what I said. Because I do like and subscribe. I think it's the first time I've said that. Thank you, Chris, for doing this video with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you hated it.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. And you know what? I love you too.
Oh.
Hugs, puppies, kittens.